In this ride, we'll be experiencing Ortega Highway, a rural two-lane highway in the mountains of the Cleveland National Forest. The majority of this section has a 55-mile-per-hour speed limit and leads up to the more curvy and mountainous areas of the forest. Here are some questions to consider. How often should a rider make lane adjustments and use the center, left, or right portions of a two-lane highway? What is a good lane position strategy for curves? How much room is needed on a shoulder to have it work as an escape path? Moving down to a two-lane road now. Yellow center line. We have a little bit of shoulder there, not a lot. I think I'm going to stay in the middle of the lane here. If I get on the left, I can see around better, but I'm going slow enough where it's really not a requirement because I can stop in plenty of time. There's a curve sign. Nice curve. I like the way the center line is here. It gives you a nice wide one. Even has indentations in the road, so if you were to stray out of your lane, I'm moving to the right side here, get away from any wind blast and somebody maybe over center line. Now I'll kind of make my way back to the left portion. 50-mile-an-hour curve recommended here. I'll move back to the right, the oncoming traffic. Now I'll kind of keep a middle position so I can use my lane on either side should I need to, from something coming on the right, from a car to a deer to a rabbit or squirrel, or on the left side, of course, cars. Okay, I'll slow a bit here, semi-blind curve. I've got plenty of opening where I can see to it now. I'm staying in the middle. Doing about 50 miles per hour right now. Fairly open. Move to the right here as oncoming traffic approaches. I don't see intersections, but I do see pull-offs. They'll likely become a lot more frequent once I'm up here in the actual mountainous area. Middle position, I can go back left. Signs telling me don't pass. Of course, the solid yellow line is that also. But I think here, because the curve's coming up, there may be some people that want to pass there, or if they get a very slow vehicle, they want to pass it. So nice middle position here as I meander back and forth. I've got a side road on the right. I'm going to hold. Just a little bit right of center there. Now I'm back to left of center. Looking good behind, nice and smooth, holding close about 50. Got a guardrail over there, but plenty of space for a motorcycle if I want to use the shoulder area. So these are semi-blind turns. What I'm thinking about here is if I need to slow down or if I need to straighten and brake, I want that kind of space. Here I'd probably slow. I wouldn't straighten and brake because I may end up over the center line on a curve to the right. So I'll stay mostly in the middle here. We got some warning lights here flashing. I see the side traffic has a stop. I'm still good here. Traffic light ahead, clear on the left. Light's been green a long time. Side road on the left. Left turn lane, but I think it's nobody there. It's going to stay green. Issue up here on the right shoulder. Don't know what that's all about, but I'll ease off the throttle just a bit, give them space, checking their security probably. Now I'm back to just me and the road. Although you never know when somebody's coming around the bend. Again, I'm using middle here. In my mind, I'm trying to make sure I've got the kind of space I want to brake hard and come to a stop should I need to. Now we're getting an area where there could be rock slides. 50-mile-an-hour reverse curve here. No passing. Pretty pleasant right now. Enjoyable ride. Like smooth roads like this. Tree-lined. Gives you a little more sense of speed when you're not going that fast, but it does hide a lot of potential factors that might bring about an issue. So maintaining my middle, maybe just a hair to the left of that. Sometimes that middle can get slick if you have oil droppings, but that usually doesn't happen until you're around an intersection. Moving back to the right, got a reverse curve left here at 50 mile an hour recommended speed. Do about 55 right now. In the middle, looking good behind, traffic's not backing up. If it did, I may think about moving off to the right and letting it pass. But right now it's a pretty open roadway. Nice meandering curve to the right. I'll move to the right part of my lane here as I go around this one instead of the middle, just because there's so much oncoming traffic. Now we got a little sharper curve, 45 miles per hour. I'll maintain my middle here. Don't see intersecting traffic. Looks good behind. Kind of an uphill grade here, so that's going to hide traffic. So I'm going to kind of move out to the right here a bit and just not get aggressive at all. Need that time and space in front. Of course, you can always worry about deer popping out of some of these. They don't pay much attention to traffic. Midday like this, it usually isn't an issue, but you never know. Line turn here, curve here, so I'll stay to the center, to the right center area, and I'm back to the left. Here we got a right turn lane up ahead. Nice big escape if I need it. Side road on the left up here. Still looking good behind. Left turn lane. Don't have a lot of escape here. There's enough for a motorcycle course. And you've got a ditch line, and back there you had some gravel. So you want to get all your maneuvering done where it's paved. Do not pass sign on intersection on the right up here. Could be a blind one because it is on that part of the curve, so a little caution's needed here. I'll stay more toward the left because that'll give them a line of sight to see me if there is somebody there. Another reverse curve to the left, 50 mile an hour recommended speed, so I'm going to move back over to the right just a little bit, right of center. Kind of like wide open spaces here right now. It's good. Glad it's not a lot of congested traffic. Makes more for a more pleasant ride. Skid marks there. You kind of wonder what caused those things. Could have been a rock coming down that hillside there, or somebody over center line. But you do want to notice where the skid marks as you approach a curve or intersection, because that indicates, especially if there's a lot of skid marks, that indicates a common problem of some kind that increases risk for that space and time. Certainly did for somebody. They wouldn't have left a skid mark. There's more skid marks there. Looks like it might have been a deer or somebody over the center line. Kind of narrow here. Do have some escape. It's one nice thing about the motorcycle. I could probably get 5 or 6 motorcycles across this lane here, parked side by side. Now we have a truck crossing. We have some delineators there indicating there's a stationary object, like some kind of well cap or something. Maybe an electrical box. Another side road coming up here on the right side, so I'll move a lot of skid mark there. So I'll move to the left here. Again, better line of sight. Oncoming car, and I'll move back to the right a little bit. Another side road, traffic light coming up here. Nice and pleasant so far. Like uneventful rides, that mine's got to stay active though. So we got a couple lanes up here. I wonder if one of them's a turn lane. Yeah, I see it says right lane's a turn lane, so I'll stay on the left side here. Green light, looking good. Don't see any cross traffic. Middle of my lane. 55 mile per hour speed limit. 2 lanes down into 1, so we'll stay in the middle. Doing 55 exactly right now. Now I'll move back to the left after this car because there may be a varmint or something on that right shoulder. At least I can see it a little bit sooner and have some maneuverability. So right now I've got plenty of escape in front. Left's open. Got a right decently wide shoulder. Oh, here we have a reverse turn, 30 miles per hour recommended. So I think I'll start slowing down here a bit and see what materializes here. Even go down a gear just to give me more maneuverability and acceleration if I need it at that moment in time. A few more skid marks. Line of sight's not the best here, but I could stop in the distance I can see ahead. Not overconfident with my brakes, but confident enough I think I can make that stop. That car kind of wiggled a little bit, didn't it? Okay, we got a reverse turn, 40 miles per hour. I'm going to stay in the middle of my lane. Coming around that corner, yeah, I got to be looking. I'm ready to go to the right side if I need to with all this. I'm going to stay right of center right now. Now I'll move back to the middle, and we have construction up here. I thought the road work ended, but maybe it didn't. Well, we got horse traffic, side road left, fire station up here. Probably a little congestion going on, so I'll back down a little bit. Fire danger's moderate today. I'm supposed to have the headlights on next 4 miles. Well, it's already on, so I'm good there. Slower traffic, use the turnouts. If I get, 5, 6, 7 cars behind me, I might pull in one of these pull-off areas, let them pass. But I am going the speed limit, but of course some people like to exceed that. Here's an open turn here, but no telling what's on that right side. Looks like quite a drop-off, so I'm just going to stay in the middle here. Falling rocks, not a good sign, so I'll be looking for those added to the mix of factors that might create an issue. Of course, for that side, falling rocks and force somebody into my lane, and that's why I like to have that right side open, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of right openings here. We have a narrow bridge coming up here, so I'll stay in the middle of my lane. 30-mile-per-hour reverse turns. Move to the right of center with that truck. Oh, good, nobody in the lane here. We got to turn out in a 1/4 mile, but I think I'm still okay for a while. Blind turn, kind of slow here, stay middle. Let's take a moment to answer the question we posed at the beginning. How often should a rider make lane adjustments and use the center, left, or right portions of a 2-lane highway? If there's a lot of traffic, often. The priorities would be to see and be seen, so having good lines of sight are important, and moving away from roadway edges and oncoming traffic could reduce risk. What is a good lane position strategy for curves? An acceptable default strategy for a constant radius curve, when there's no traffic, is a middle path of travel, where you keep the motorcycle near the center of the lane at the entry, apex, and exit of the curve. Of course, this can vary based on the flow of traffic and the need for changing sight lines. How much room is needed on a shoulder to have it work as an escape path? Only a few feet in width, as much space as a motorcycle needs to fit into. Of course, a wider shoulder gives you more room, but even a narrow space can provide the needed escape from a car that crosses into your lane.